Christopher, do you see all the smoke here?
Yeah, I don't see what's making it, but I see all the smoke.
Yeah.
He says yes, he sees it. He doesn't see what's making it, but he sees the smoke, which is exactly what we want. You got it? Do we need to move this around?
Yeah, please.
Let's go like that.
I've got this. Can you hear me, Christopher?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great. I can hear you too. Anyway, I've got this Basis Texas sign I've been working on, and I did a video with it and everything like that. But using this dry ice to make the effect, so it's just like, oh, and plus it's Halloween, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we're doing a Halloween show soon on zombies. So.
Okay. Well, and that actually was one of the things I wanted to talk about when we came back was. Do you notice that certain times of the year there seems to be more activity going on? Is it based on anything like that, like our calendar, our secular calendar throughout the year?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I notice there's different times of year, like Halloween. I notice seems to be they always say the thinning of the veil, where different dimensional stuff can do things much easier. There is definitely a cyclical difference.
And do you think that possibly the reasons why we have the holidays we do, we celebrate certain things that we do, is because people were aware that something in their realm was different that time of year?
Yeah, definitely, like with Halloween. Yeah, most definitely, and also, the different holidays were created for. Like Christmas was more or less like an energy collection thing at a certain time of year too. But Halloween was when people could interact with all these different beings. I can find different energies. So I noticed doing any of my work, it's the strongest on Halloween. That's when I'm wanting to clear something or wanting to interact with somebody. Halloween is the best time to do it, or leading up to it.
Right.
But
for good work and bad work.
Oh yeah, it's basically neutral. It can be used for good or bad. I noticed, but yeah, leading up to Halloween or anytime during the harvest season, like the Samhain or the salmon. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, anytime during the Samhain time, the harvest time in the fall for that particular equinox, and also in the winter time, the winter solstice seems to be a powerful one as well. But Halloween seems to be the strongest, from what I've noticed, for that kind of energy work, and that's why we always also declared it Neutrality Day, because we always told people on a mass scale declare their haunted sites and stuff neutral, because it had a farther-reaching energetic arm. So we basically said Neutrality Day at that point, and people understood that after a while and started doing it, and it ended up clearing things much further, had a broader, like I said, a broader arm or a broader reach on Halloween. So yeah, there are differences in the different days. Christmas, the difference I see on that day, it seems to be peaceful.
Okay.
It seems to be peaceful on Christmas, but then it builds back up, like towards the other part of winter. People go, "Oh, good, holidays are over," and they start getting mad again. At certain things. But I noticed there were certain times of year that were meant for energy harvesting as well, like around in the holiday season. But it seems like on the day of Christmas, I've noticed there's like this lull or this calm. But as for energetic work, Halloween is still the best.
We were talking earlier this year about the Bigfoot and, of course, Theratos and, things going on over here in Austin and, of course, Hairy Man Road.
Yeah.
And Hairy Man Road, it turns out, is actually a more popular, bigger road than I knew about.
Mm-hmm.
And a business partner, friend of mine, who's actually here in the studio right now, he's actually been being our cameraman and stuff like that. He lives out there towards Cedar Park, and on Hairy Man Road, there's a section of it that's very dangerous, very curvy and everything, and a lot of people have died on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Are there any structures near that curve, or is it just a road?
Is Kerry still here?
He's not. No.
Oh, he's gone. I don't know. I don't know. I can
Okay.
find out though.
Yeah, what the reason I asked was is I actually saw there was a graveyard I saw in California where a lot of car crashes had happened next to it, and the reptilians were taking the ghosts and stuff from the car crashes. So I was wondering if there was a similar thing going on there. I know there's a migration path on that Hairy Man Road for some Sasquatch tribes, but there's a different vibe I'm getting towards where people were dying. There's like this there's like this dip in the energy here that is like it's making my chest tight. There's like this I don't know if it seems to be a vortex or if there is an energy collector there, but it could be a small one if there's one there. But if people are constantly dying on the same spot, somebody's up to something there. Somebody's wanting to take the energy there. That's another clue people can get. If people who keep dying on the same spot and rubbing that wound the wrong way, something's going on.
Yeah, that stands to reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was looking at a map recently of Hairy Man Road, and I thought, oh, it's a typo or it's a bad map or something like that. But there's actually an intersection here, I guess in Round Rock or whatever, because this Hairy Man Road, it's the intersection of Hairy Man Road and Hairy Man Road. There's two Hairy Man Roads, and they intersect with one another. And I was like, wow, you can't, meet the devil at that crossroads, or meet the Bigfoot or something.
Right.
Oh yeah. That there could be a an actual line in a ley line intersection on that spot too.
Yeah.
See what I'm picking up.
Is there any way when I go to do my investigation of Hairy Man Road, should I take any crystals, or what should I take with me to try to determine anything, or what would a novice do?
Well, actually, some of the things paranormal investigators do, they bring EMF detectors and stuff like that for the rising and dropping of electromagnetic fields and levels and stuff like that. That's usually a clue something's going on too. But yeah, you can definitely bring a recorder with you. I've used a ghost box in the past, but that usually gets all the AI crap that's in there. But you can sometimes filter out if there's something legitimate going on the spot. If there is an energy collector there on that spot, if you go to that exact spot, sometimes it'll make its presence known on an obelisk or a ghost box. Like the stupid aliens associated with it will make their presence known by issuing threats and stuff like that. That'll show up that way. But you can also take dowsers. The copper dowsers, and you'll be able to find those spots or anything of interest, or pendulum. That'll work as well. Yeah. And
this is so synchronistic. I just now contacted the Texas branch of the Dowsers, the North American Dowsers Association, and they've got one place where they meet in Texas, and it's in Houston, and it's the second Tuesday of every month. And when I called and I talked to the lady, it was the day before. The meeting had been the day before.
Oh.
And she was like, "Oh, too bad you missed." I was like, "No, that just gives me a month to get ready for this next one." So it's all good.
That's good, yeah. And I feel like if the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch are walking along that road too, you're gonna know it. You're going to feel eyes on you. You're gonna feel like you're being watched the whole time. They're basically studying you at that point, and see if they want to communicate. And also, if you get this loving feeling coming from them, that's usually they're opening their hearts up to you. They like they transmit through here. When they're communicating.
Well, that's one thing I kind of wanted to do, Christopher. If possible, maybe just send out a message and say, hey, this guy's coming, he coming in peace. He's not going to have any weapons and everything like that. And also maybe get some recommendations on it. Just bring him some food or something to eat, something that they like.
Oh, yeah. I'm putting that out there now that you're wanting to communicate with them. If there are any in that area at this time of year, they do migrate away. And they've also been kind of on the warpath against the bad guys lately. So some of these reptilians, they've been kind of showing no mercy towards them because they're going after them too. So they've been going after them right lately. But if you go out there with the intention that you want to leave them something or their children something, that's something that's strong with them. is the children. Like say you take, they respond to like blue stones and marbles and stuff like that. Or if you take stones and put them in a certain pattern, they respond to that. And also, if you leave a gift, leave a stick X next to it, because this is a way of saying this is yours. This is for you. This is gifted to you. Now, if you see a stick X that's up like this, up off the ground, and it's between trees, that means don't cross here. That's a no crossing sign. This is our territory past there. We might throw you out of here if you cross it. And also, if you see broken tree limbs, it's also denoting property lines and denoting territories.
It's also denoting amazing strength.
Oh yeah, most definitely. These, even a child version of them are stronger than we are.
Gosh,
Yeah. I've actually seen one of these beings. There's one here by the name of Fuma. I've actually spotted him up on Thumb Butte before. He is enormous. He's like this big-shouldered one that's up there. We've made friends with him and his family unit that travel between here and Sedona. And I've gotten pictures of Fuma both out of phase, and I've actually gotten pictures of his brother too, one of his brothers. And they allowed that. They were at first they were not wanting to allow photographs. They were like, they kept telling me put it back in my pocket. They didn't want pictures. Well, at the point when I left them a gift that had no conditions attached to it, like, oh, this is for you, I don't care if I get anything back, they stopped me and said, okay, you can take a few pictures. Back in my head, I heard that in my head, said take a few pictures, and I ended up getting pictures of first it was Fuma's brother Mirnak, and I got pictures of him behind a rock looking at me, kind of peering up, and where you can see from his chest up, and he's a big Sasquatch. He's at least 9-10 feet tall, and Fuma is probably somewhere between 10 and 12. He's big, and his brother Seymour is roughly between 10 and 12 feet, I believe, too. But yeah, we befriended this tribe that's out here. And when Joanna and I first moved here, Fuma, he's a practical jokester too. He decided to run up to the side of the house here, go put his face up against the window, and howl as loud as he could. And scared the crap out of me in the middle of the night. And
I thought they did it to a neighbor or something. They did it to you.
They did it to me. And then another night, his brother Mirnak decided to hit the side of the house repeatedly over here. And they're practical jokesters. And so we were leaving them gifts up on Thumb Butte and everything. We leave them stones. Then Fuma transmits to us. He goes, leave me unsalted nuts. I'm like, okay. We went to the store, got unsalted nuts, and they take it every time. They were taking it every single time. Well, the funny thing was, I asked his brother Mirnak. I said, okay, what do you want? And I could, we had a couple boxes of chocolates in the house at the time, and he's like, that. Well, I was like, okay, fine. I said, I thought these weren't good for you. He goes, they're not good for you either. And I'm like, okay.
Well, touche. All right.
Yeah, refined sugars are poisonous to them.
I can't even believe you're saying that. I mean, no, I just ordered the book. Yeah, sugar is poison for everybody.
Yeah. It's really hurts them because they have a more sensitive physiology. And what I did was I put a few in a bag and I put it out on the post out here. Like the same night, it was gone, and he just zipped in and out of this frequency and took it. Well, like about a week or so later, it came back. And it came back, and it stunk to high heaven when it came back. I was like, Mirnak, where did you have this? And what was funny was I said, why did you bring it back? Why didn't you just eat it? And he goes, our tribal leader said I had to put it back. And I was like, his grandfather, basically his grandfather is the chieftain of all of them in this area. And he's like, put it back, but yeah.
Getting into trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, those technical instruments you were talking about on a paranormal investigation, I'm going to grab my box upstairs right quick.
Okay.
I want to show you my instruments.
15 minutes, and I don't think you heard.
What was that?
Oh, I said I was talking to him, but I don't think he heard me. He's got too many other noises going
Oh, okay.
on.
Yeah, got it. The doggy followed him all over too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Winston was like that. Our Schnauzer, he followed us everywhere. So
Oh man, I had a Schnauzer. My ex-husband, and he's got it still, and he's a great dog. They are little dogs with big dog personalities for sure. You know, they are fun. They are fun. I like Schnauzers.
oh yeah, Winston. Yeah, he was funny. Yeah, he was just this. He was a dwarf miniature Schnauzer. He was a smaller one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he was funny. Yeah, he's been gone for about now. Oh my God, over almost 2 years now. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Now, ours was a snorter. He liked to snort a lot. He just.
So did he. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he liked to snore, like he'd sit there. Yeah. Like he'd put me asleep and snore. Yeah, yeah. Mm. We thought that was funny.
Yep.
We had a border collie too named Woody, and then
Border collies are great. They just need a lot of work. You know, they're a working breed, so they have a lot of energy. A lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we always had.
All right, I think he's back. So, Ayin, I've got about 15 more minutes before I'll have to
Okay.
get out. So, just
I
so
bet
we
we're going to
know.
wrap it up here pretty quick.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
And Christopher, thank you so much for meeting with us today.
Yeah.
It's been really good. It's been really good.
Yeah, I like doing these. I apologize if I'm going too fast.
Oh,
That's how they-
no. Well, but you and me have been talking about these things. Sometimes newer audience members, it's it's been a lot to take in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think they're getting a very good explanation of everything.
Oh
So I
yeah,
understand what's going on.
yeah.
One
I
of the-
try to do that. I try to do that. I try to present it in a way everybody goes, "Oh, that's really cool." Drone. Yeah, drones are good for looking for things like that. But if the Sasquatch want to stay hidden, they're going to stay. But drones with like the FLIR technology are good for looking for them.
Well, what about Ghostlight? Ghostlight Road. I'm going to take it to Ghostlight Road.
I think that was.
Yeah, that should be good. That should be good from looking from above because you'll get if there's a lot of the spook lights out, you're going to see if the ones that are hovering along the ground. So yeah, that should work. Yeah, but we need to use a drone for things like that. Sasquatch hunters use them all the time with the infrared and the FLIR technology. FLIR anything. I've noticed is an extremely good brand to use for ghost hunting, looking for entities, looking for Sasquatch, looking for all of that. Seems to be extremely good for that. We didn't get to the back in the day. I was really going full bore with the ghost hunting with the equipment and everything. FLIR was just a brand new thing at the time. Back in the early 2000s when I was really doing that. But yeah, what we were focusing on at the time were like the ghost boxes and the EVPs and night vision. That works too. If you want to look for
Do you know
Sasquatch.
what FLIR means?
No.
Forward-looking infrared.
Ah, okay.
Well, anyway, I was going to show you my field recorder, but it's not in here. But I did want to show you this. That's a neurophone.
All right.
Dr. Patrick Flanagan makes that,
Okay.
and he made it. But some other scientists had to determine how it worked, like decades later. But we have something in common with the cetaceans, which are your whales and porpoises and dolphins, and that they have these saccules under their ears that allow them to hear. It allows their sonar to work where they can hear through their skin.
Oh, wow.
Well, it turns out that people have the same thing, and that's what this is. You plug audio into this and use these transducers. I don't know if you can see that there. These metal electrodes, there's different configurations you can use. Like that's one, or you can use headbands and put it on your head or whatever. But I've actually got another pair. And then you just put in audio material in here, like to learn something. It goes on your skin, and it injects it directly into your subconscious. So you
wow.
can be doing. It's a learning deal. It's supposedly makes you very effing smart.
Oh wow!
But
Okay.
you can be like having dinner with family and friends, or playing tennis. You can be doing anything, listening to music while this thing is going on, and you are like taking in massive amounts of information.
That actually makes sense to me, where it's on a certain frequency wavelength that he was able to accomplish it. That actually makes a lot of sense. Also, different frequencies like music, the Sasquatch like things like that. They like different music being played. They like that intention put into that. But that actually makes sense to me. That would actually help doing memory retrieval as well, if you wanted to actually get like some of the SSP memories and such back too. That
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It even came with this CD that has a bunch of like meditation stuff on it, like it just has different names. Some of here you go: flowing water, energy, mental growth, learning, health. I don't know if these are frequencies. But Dr. Patrick Flanagan's like one of the smartest guys in the world.
Yeah. Those particular frequencies. We have some friends. They're named the Winslows, Christina and Ted Winslow. We interviewed them a while back. We've known them for a while now. And Ted, he creates music of these different frequencies to get rid of specific things like AI and entity influences and stuff like that. Works extremely well. Like if I'm not in so good of a place, I can actually use that, and it actually goes into the subconscious and begins to clear out the subconscious and clear out anything that doesn't serve you in that moment. It seems to work very well. So that what Patrick Flanagan created was basically that's the same thing as those tones, different tones and different frequencies. Yeah,
absolutely. And you can see here. I'm going to hold up this laptop, but you ought to be able to see that.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. That's very similar to what he uses. Yes.
I've been working with my music a little bit, so maybe I ought to try to make some songs that will.
Yeah, whatever comes through from your soul, like whatever comes through from on a soul level, and comes through the heart space, can't be hijacked by anything. Even though there is such a thing as music programming out there, like that has come through some of the bands and stuff in different tones. Not necessarily known to them, you can turn that around and actually create something that can counteract it if it comes from here. When it definitely comes from here, it can't be hijacked. So
that makes sense.
It can't be hijacked at all. But yeah, you have some pretty good equipment there. But yeah, if you definitely want to record voices that are out there, PSB7 Ghost Box and EVP recorder. If you want to use both of those in conjunction. Obelisk 3, I don't know if you can still find the Obelisk 3 where I have one of those. It has a word database. And you can actually, these different aliens sometimes will hijack the database and you'll be able to see exactly what they're saying to you in some degree. If you put it in phonetic mode, you can hear it sounds like a robot voicing. It sounds like basically like Stephen Hawking, with a robot voice. But you can hear them enunciate certain words without the static. I've noticed that works very well.
Well, I'm using the Zoom ZH1, which according to all the reviews is one of the world's top stereo field recorders. It has the microphones in an XY configuration. It's a little handheld device.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to do well.
Yes, I've used one of those as well for recording, and it's extremely sensitive. I even used it for voiceover work for a while. That's how sensitive it was. And I use that in the field, and you can literally hear if something makes a whooping noise, like a Sasquatch or a whisper, because they sometimes will talk in certain like a native language type language. Sometimes you'll hear that. You'll hear anything that's in a certain bandwidth. Like if there's a reptilian nearby, you'll hear the hissing. You'll hear that on there too. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's creepy. I've heard that on a number of times. I've heard that on recorders. I'll hear this slithery voice, like, and then I'm like, ew.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these recordings of sound and pictures, most of them, people don't even realize they got the recording when they got it.
Mm-hmm.
They find it later.
No, they don't know. I found out in every recording that's out there, there's still some things embedded in there, either on an energetic wavelength or light wavelength or a sound wavelength. It's always there.
Christopher, I've still got undiscovered evidence in my Gross Flat Road stuff. That stuff needs to be analyzed by a video forensic expert. I mean, I think I'm sitting on some of the best footage around.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to get some more.
Yeah, there's some footage I have of ours that I have not gone through yet. There's some footage I have not gone through yet that I recorded before we moved out of Lincoln, Nebraska. We went through another church downtown and went through the Capitol downtown, and I haven't gone through that stuff yet. That shows how backlogged mine gets too. Where if I have time to sit and analyze one, I'll pick if I don't have anything to do. I'll sit and analyze one. I can usually hear all the words that are being said in the undertone if something is there. And this is why I generally don't have time to work on them, because I got all the psychic stuff to do and all our business stuff to do. But when I come across a day where it's slower, I'll sit and listen to one of those. And we just recently did one that if I had analyzed it a year ago, there's some of the things I wouldn't have understood in it. I'm at a synchronistic point where I now understand more stuff, and I'm able to hear some stuff I get now, like the stuff about the soul traps, the stuff about the agreements and everything. I hear it all in there. The AI is just running on there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, we've had a very good meeting, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And if you could just maybe kind of keep your ears open for the next couple of days, as far as like if you receive any messages anything I need to know about, Hairy Man Road.
Yeah.
By all means, let me know.
Yeah, we talk with the Sasquatch all the time. So, if they have any messages for you out there, I'll let you know.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, and so anyway, we're cutting it off right there. So this will be edited out. But I just want to tell you that this footage we got on your end and on this end, this is probably easily the best looking that we've got so far.
Whoa! Oh wow! Yeah. We've had so much interference in other ones that we've done. Oh my God! There was one where it just kept cutting out every like.
Oh no!
Minutes or.
Especially when you would say something important. That's when it would cut out. It's like that was a little too.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you can see on my end where I was going mother, on this end. He didn't see this part. I was like, God, on this end. But when it's something important, because cut off like that. But that's good.
We were targeted that day for sure.
Oh man,
without a doubt.
That's not going to happen in transmissions anymore. I always put a shield over any of the transmissions, so it tends to work. I always ask that the lines be protected, so none of the archontic forces can do that cutoff anymore.
And plus, today was kind of impromptu. They didn't have a week to plan for it or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if it's impromptu, the more impromptu you can make it, the less they can adapt to it. I've noticed. So
right.
They didn't know that it was going to happen, so they nothing interfered.
Yeah, because they're the lords of the calendar, lords of the clock, or whatever. So
yeah, exactly. And if you do things on their timing, they can interfere. But if you do things impromptu in the moment, they can't adapt to it. So, so that worked. It worked really well.
All right. Well, we're going to stay tuned and look out for your show. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. It's good meeting you too.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Bye-bye. Have a good day, guys.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.